Now, the anticipation and excitement is building up for the upcoming Olympics that are scheduled to take place next year. Now, even though the Games are more than 6 months away, a wave of controversies have already surrounded it. Talks over security measures linked to the Olympics has been on for some time, and one discipline, surfing, is at the center of it. The event is slated to take place in Tahiti, but concerns have been raised over the catastrophic social and environmental impact. Activists recently staged rallies and demonstrations.
Nous avons décidé de ne pas participer à la casse sociale et au désastre écologique et accompagnons les participants à l'extermination de toute forme de vie. Autant le faire en beauté.
Protesters, of course, lying down on the street and pretending to be dead. They're calling this the die-in protest. And the protest is over building a controversial judging tower for the event that has partially broken through the coral reef during the tests. How did we get to this, and what are the various issues and concerns that have been raised? I'll tell you all that in just a moment. Now, this venue made its Olympics debut during the Tokyo Olympics, and it's exotic. It promises a stunning spectacle, but this faraway place has pointed logistical questions. It's also raised eyebrows about sustainability because the rest of the Summer Games will be held in Paris, and the surfing location selected is at least 16,000 kilometers away. So organizers would need to fly in the surfers, judges, and others. The additional concern, of course, is about the carbon footprint. Paris organizers had initially stated their ambition to reducing it by half. But going by this plan, there is no way that is possible. The other concern is the place where the surfing event is supposed to take place. The spot where the surfers will finish the race is situated such that it breaks offshore. In other words, it is not a feasible location for the event to take place smoothly. Because of this, the judges will have to sit in a certain spot to judge the surfers. So the organizers' plan is to put them and the cameras onto an aluminium tower. Unfortunately, that tower is attached to the reef, which is becoming a massive red flag that environmentalists have raised. Now, they fear that the placement of the tower will harm the coral reef and hence the marine life. This dispute, in fact, reached a melting point when earlier this month, the Paris Olympics organizers tested a construction barge to build the tower in the surfing lagoon, and it resulted in the coral reef being damaged. Environmental groups revolted against it, and local authorities were forced to halt the construction. The residents of the island have tried to convince officials to use a wooden tower instead that has previously been used to host surfing competitions, but authorities have cited security reasons, saying it doesn't meet the standard protocols of this competition. The surfing governing body, or the International Surfing Association, even welcomed the decision to pause the construction in an online petition. More than 160,000 signatures have in fact been collected against it. But that has failed to deter the stakeholders. Organizers, authorities and environmental groups are stuck in this route that is proving to be a bit of a stalemate. Paris officials refused to budge. They said there is no alternate plan and it will be held in the French Polynesia as planned. This is what triggered activists.
The idea is to say neither here nor elsewhere. There is a movement called No Olympics Anywhere, which is to say, in fact, we are not campaigning to say we don't want that here. If it's not good for us, it's not good elsewhere. In fact, there is no right way to do the Olympics. The history of the Olympics proves to us that it has never been good and that there are structural effects that always repeat themselves in the same way. And that's terrible, because we have been campaigning for more than 4 years and everything we have been talking about is happening.
Now, the candidacy of the French Alps for the 2030 Winter Games have also seen some resistance owing to this. Environmentalists say they could damage ecosystems. Paris has previously stated its ambitions of hosting a stellar Olympics show, but the current reality paints a different picture.
What we realize is that the more you look into the Olympics, the more we realize that it is a classist, racist event which only serves a small minority of people who are the most fortunate. So the idea is to debunk all the myths that we talk about every day by saying that it will benefit, in the case of Paris, the 93rd French department, the inhabitants of the town of Saint-Denis, where several Olympic events are set to take place. This is false. The Olympics were invented by a baron for an elite, a white elite who practiced sports.
This is not the only environmental issue that the Paris Olympic officials are dealing with. River Seine is also going to prove to be a massive thorn in the side. A little backgrounder here. Due to high levels of metals and fecal bacteria, there has been a ban on any swimming in River Seine since 1923. That's over 100 years of no swimming. But Paris Olympics organizers are confident that they will be able to clean up the river in time for the Olympics. Their mission: to build a 700-meter tunnel and a large storage tank to clean up Seine, so athletes can compete in the swimming events. This is not just seeming to be impossible, but quite a dreamy plan to even carry forward over the next few months. Currently, about a dozen times a year, the city's underground sewage tunnels are overwhelmed, and to avoid flooding the streets, they release wastewater onto the river. Right now, the overall mood that many onlookers, critics, and environmentalists, protesters even, are experiencing is mass skepticism. That's what surrounds the grandest event, or the build-up to it, in 2024. The potential challenges faced by Paris casts a doubt over how well these issues will be ironed out in time for the event to take place.